everyone. Welcome to another episode of Crypto Current. Your host here, Richard Carthon. And today I have a special guest all the way out in Indonesia working on an amazing project with so many amazing tools. We were having a really cool conversation before we even jumped on here. I'm excited to unpack more of this, and I'm excited for you all to learn more about this. We have Julian with Aktio. How you doing today?
Hey, Richard. Good to meet you, man. And it's a pleasure to be here. And pretty happy to talk to you guys and say more about our project. We've been working on it for so many years, and it's finally coming. The release is in a few weeks, so yeah, pretty excited.
That's exciting, man. Like the fact that you've been working on this for years, you probably started getting into this at the beginning or at the end of the last bull cycle. So you went through the entire bear market. So you just put your head down, build, and now you're ready to release this to the world. And what you have is pretty remarkable. But before we dive into that, I want to learn more about you. Can you give us a little bit of background on yourself?
So basically, I left school when I was 19. Went to China to study there. I studied on my own until today. I still have lessons every weekend. I was really passionate about languages, and I started my own little businesses in China or Indonesia. I was more like into design, exports, furniture, jewelry, all kind of stuff. I also had a flower decorating business, so really completely different than the crypto world. I was working with all the super yachts on the French Riviera, and I was doing some export as well in the Caribbean, Southeast Asia. So I was always around the place. And just a few years ago, my best friend asked me to join him on this project. It was just four people, and today we are in this together. We're like 110 employees. And so it was really coming from, I always, how you call it in English, like autodidact, when you just teach yourself everything that you do. For example, when I design a restaurant, I just learned, to use 3D softwares to just build a whole restaurant. I did. And every time there's a new challenge, I just jump into it, learn what I need to learn. And then you learn every day, basically. So you never stop. And that's how I ended up doing what I do today.
Man, amazing. So you absolutely have a growth mindset. You go over to China at the age of 19, serial entrepreneur, working on all kinds of projects, from working on super yachts to doing flowering business to, all kinds of different things. But then you learn and start working with your business partner, who's also your friend, and you learn about crypto. So tell us about what was that first introduction to crypto and what piqued your interest?
Yeah, so basically, my friend is an engineer. He studied in Polytech, really smart guy, and he's a professional trader and specialist in algorithm. And he started to work on this crypto robo-advisor a few years ago. And he was selling it to me, Julian, I'm building this thing. It's going to be amazing. We're making like 30% a year, and no drawdown, no volatility. I'm like, man, what are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. And he basically built this app with one, Indian programmer, one of his other friends who's an engineer, and one designer. Basically, he made this app like 3 years ago, just the robo-advisor itself. But then we come to the conclusion that for me, it was still too geeky. I didn't understand. I look at the app, and for me, it was just too many numbers everywhere. And I'm like, listen, we need to do something about it. And he realized that too. So I joined him as more like a project manager. And also he needed a bit of touch of design and to have the mindset of someone who's out of this world, And so we realized quickly that the crypto world, the robo-advisor, mostly in France, in Europe, it's not like in the US, when you have all these big wealth fronts, all these robo-advisors that people, they know they use. In France, it's not like that. It's a niche thing. So this crypto robo was too niche, too geeky. And we realized really early that we had to make it a part of our project and not just the whole thing. And that's how we ended up developing what we're developing now, what we're going to release in a few weeks.
Which is really incredible. And again, we're going to break this down. So akt.io, one app, a wealth of possibilities. So break down what it is and what you're ultimately trying to accomplish.
So basically, we realized that, like I said to you earlier when we discussed, it's just the crypto world. Go to all these, these events, and you read all these websites, and you realize that most people around the world, they don't know anything about, smart contracts and DeFi protocols and all that stuff. Nobody really understands what's behind it. And we made that conclusion as well when we did the robo-advisor. And, you talk to someone in Argentina, in Denmark, in Australia, and you ask them, what is money for you? Like, how you deal with money? And they're all going to come up with the same answer, current accounts, savings accounts. And some of them, they know investment accounts, and that's it. And all of those accounts, they're on the bank that nobody really likes their bank. Nobody loves their bank, but they trust the banks because it's regulated. So we have two things here. We need to talk an easy language for people, something they know, banking platform. So you see the likes of Revolut and 26, which become the standard now. Notification when you pay, you go abroad, you don't pay any exchange fees and blah, blah, blah. So today is the standard. And the second thing is regulation. If you're not a regulated platform and people don't trust you, crypto is never gonna, it's never gonna take over the world like people think it's gonna take the world. You need to heavily regulate it, even if I know a lot of people don't like that word. And that's the conclusion we just had. So we started to build an online bank. The difference with the other online bank is that they have a DNA of online bank, and they have a few add-ons. And these add-ons are, you can buy crypto, you can buy shares sometimes, like on Revolut, for example, or others. But for us, it's the opposite. The DNA is wealth, is investment, and the add-on is the neobank. So what we wanted to do is to talk people's language using current account, savings account, investment account. It looks like a modern bank, but your money is working for you. And we added a little twist, of course. So it looks modern, but in the background of these things that everybody understands, we plugged the most avant-garde technologies. So what we did on this platform is it looks like a modern neobank, but we built some proprietary technologies. So first, we have an amazing multi-route exchange engine. Basically, what it means is that any of the assets you can have on your app can be US shares, crypto, tokenized real estate, of course, our robo-advisor, and also we have the savings account plugged to DeFi protocol with Aave. All of these, you can exchange one to another, like all these websites saying, oh, we have this amount of pairs, or we have this and this amount of pairs. But for us, you can exchange directly Tesla shares to gold or to Ethereum, because we have this, we're going to go through different brokers, and you're going to optimize not only the route and the fees, but also you can do multi-nodes. So if we do, like, for example, Tesla shares to US dollar through interactive brokers, then US dollar, you jump on like maybe 4 different platforms like Bittrex, Huobi, whatnot, transform into USDT, and then maybe you go through Bitcoin before you buy the Ethereum and whatnot. So the algorithm just detects which is the best route. And this happens in just 1 or 2 seconds. So you can exchange whatever you want to whatever you want. You don't need to go through all the different steps yourself, with all the fees and different platforms that people use. Most people, they have a bank, they have Coinbase, they have Binance, they have like, whatever platforms they have. There's so many today, but they have to manually do all these things. And if they want to use the money, the liquidity, they have to transform into fiat and then send this fiat to their bank, and then they can spend it. So we created this engine so you can exchange everything to anything. And we plugged it to a payment card with Visa, because we work with Visa. And then it means that now you can have all these assets on your bank, and you can go to the restaurant, go have your coffee in the morning, and you can choose from which wallet you're going to pay. And then the exchange will automatically happen. So of course the merchant's going to get euros or US dollars or Indonesian rupiah, but you pay from your Bitcoin wallet. So if you want to pay a coffee for €2, which is an expensive coffee, you just grab these €2 from a Bitcoin account, change this to USDT to euro, for example, and that's it. You paid, and you just grab the little amount that you needed from any of the wallets that you want. So that's what we wanted to do, to provide the people with a modern bank where your money is working for you the way you decide. It can be your robo-advisor. It's all automatized. You don't have anything to do. You can trade like a pro as well. You can have your savings account plugged to DeFi, but you can withdraw anytime you want, pay with anything you want. So it makes it available. It makes it, liquid. And we talked about it earlier, like so many people have long investments or staking, and okay, they're like, wow, I'm making so much money. I made 5x, 10x. No, you didn't do anything because you haven't sold it. So basically, you cannot buy anything with it. So yeah, it's a lot of numbers on your crypto.com or Binance account, but you cannot buy a house with it. You just here with a lot of numbers everywhere. So we wanted to bring it this way, make it accessible, make it super easy to use. For example, our investment page, when you buy everything, it looks like Netflix. So Netflix, everybody knows how to use Netflix. You have TV shows, you have movies, super easy to scroll through the different TV shows and movies, but we replace it with assets. So you have crypto, you have shares, the whole shebang, and then you just choose like a movie, you have a page that introduces the asset. Okay, what is Bitcoin? What is it doing now? We write our own news as well. So our own news. We don't just plug to Crypto Telegraph or whatever, and then like most apps do, you pay $2,000 a month, you brag an API, and you have all the news from people. So we write our own news, and then you make a decision. Okay, I'm going to buy this asset, and that's it.
Man, you just unpacked so much. I need to go back and touch on all of these very quickly.
Yeah, it's a lot of information.
As simply as you broke all of that down, everyone that's listening, I'm pretty sure anyone that listened to that could follow pretty well, which is awesome. So great job with your pitch because you got it down packed. But I want to go a step further and say how complex what they've been able to accomplish is. So in your everyday use case right now, just like he said, right now you're going to multiple places to be able to onboard from fiat. So for example, for me in the States, one of my first onboarding things I usually tell people is, you get on your Coinbase, you do your KYC, you link your bank account, you do all this stuff. Now you can take your regular money and you can put it on Coinbase. So now that you have your money on Coinbase, you can start purchasing some of these different cryptos. But then if you want to get off of Coinbase to get into some of these other alts or to get on some of the Solana ecosystem or Avalanche, some of these others, you have to start going to these different bridges. So then you go to start things like Uniswap or 1inch Exchange and all this other stuff to try to get into these other exchanges. But then also, if you then want to go stake it and do other things, now you have to go to DeFi projects where you go to these other DeFi protocols. So you're doing multiple steps. Right now, we're already at 4 steps. What AKT.io has been able to do, what Julian and his team has been able to do is say, nope, you only got to go to one place. And you can now do all of these things. And we're not even talking about regular stocks because this is the one that's blowing my mind right now. So you're telling me that you can go onto your platform, buy a regular stock like Tesla, and say, all right, I like my profits here. I now want to convert this into Ethereum. I press a button, and then in the background, you've already mapped out how you can go to fiat, then go to fiat into crypto, then all the way into Ethereum. It takes a couple of seconds. You pay a certain fee, and then it's done. That is remarkable. That is a very, 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 very hard problem to solve. No wonder it's taken years to solve it. But the fact that if y'all have something that is that simple to use is huge. And like, I'm just looking at your website and the UI looks amazing. Just like you said, Netflix, like the idea that people can come on and immediately understand like what's happening in a very user-friendly way. Man, this is huge.
It's a massive challenge because it's basically a legal and technical challenge. There's a lot of legal challenge in there because every time you do something, if you sell crypto, you need licenses for crypto. If you deal with fiat, like SEPA transfers, you need the EMI license or a banking license. If you want to deal with US shares, you need a brokerage license. And we get all these licenses in Europe. So now we can function, but it took us a long time to get all these licenses, and we're going to get more licenses because we're going to get the crypto license in France and Germany. Because now we can basically have the app only for European users. So just to be clear for right now. And so it was a massive legal challenge, which is not finished because it's a big headache. Actually, it's the biggest challenge for us. The technical challenge was to plug all these different technologies together, plus our own proprietary technology. The Robo is our technology, and the multi exchange, it's also our technology. So you have to combine and plug your system to, people subscribe to your app. Okay, they go through KYC, like you said. We use Thales. We don't use Onfido like most companies do because Onfido is actually not that great. They store your data for us. So everybody there can access your data. The feedbacks are not great. The answer time is not amazing. So we work with Thales, which is one of the biggest groups in the world. And you need less clicks than on Revolut to subscribe to our bank. The ID check is super fast. It scans your document, capture it instantly, then it scans your face, liveness detection. You don't even need to press a button, just captures everything, extracts everything, name, all your name, date of birth, address. Just have to validate that, and that's it. We open you an account. Takes like 6 seconds to validate that, and then you have an IBAN number. So you have a bank account. You can do SEPA transfers in 36 countries. And on top of that, you access our Netflix page, basically, where you can purchase cryptocurrencies, about 25, because we don't want people to have like 400. We just select them. And like I said, the first release of the app would be before Christmas. And it would be basically the version 1 of the multi-route engine, exchange engine, cryptocurrencies and SEPA transfers. And we also created these savings accounts, these vaults. So basically, it looks like this modern savings account. You can share with people, select a picture, name it, choose an object, a goal. And then basically we plug this to AAV protocol. So you put money in there, it just transforms into USDT, generates interest every single day. And then you can withdraw anytime you want. You can also, you will also be able to pay with it. So that's the next step after the first release. And March is going to be the big release with the robo-advisor, the US shares, ETFs, and of course the payment cards. We call it the wealth card because you can basically, you know how we dreamt when we were kids? Everybody was like, hey, how many millions you think you need? And then if you make 4% a year, then you're set for life. We all had this dream. But now even if you make, 2, 3, 4,000 bucks a month, and you get this money generating interest every single day because you just put everything on your savings account or on the DeFi if you don't want to trade, But it looks like an amazing saving, and you can spend from it. So basically, you can just spend your interest. You don't even need to touch your, you're going to generate interest every day with Aave. If you look at USDT on their website, everybody can go on it. Even during the market crash, it was 2.5% APY, which is show me a savings account in any centralized bank that gives you that much.
Nowhere. And nowhere. The fact that, I want to reemphasize this major point right now. And I think it's the biggest challenge that central banks are eventually going to have to cave to. And the more companies that can jump on this right now, you can't get interest rates basically above 1%. If you get 1%, you've crushed it in your savings account or less, but you're generally getting less than that. Like in the States, it's 0.01%. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, the money is locked for 365 days, yeah.
Yeah, but if you look at a place like this where you can tell me you're getting, anywhere from 4 to 10% of your money making money, you really can create a steady stream of income for yourself where your money works for itself and you're not really having to do a whole lot. Like you're creating a whole nother revenue stream for people that they didn't even know that they needed. And as soon as they realize that, this thing is going to just catch fire.
Yeah, it's some people don't even, at the beginning we were like, hey, you can pay your coffee with Tesla shares, but everybody was like, okay, why should I care about this? Because people don't even realize yet how big it is. When Steve Jobs, I don't compare myself to Steve Jobs, just to be clear, but when Steve Jobs announced the iPhone, he had to repeat 3 times on the screen. Nobody uploaded. It was like, guys, you have emails, a phone, and music on one thing, and nobody reacted. It's like, so what? And then he repeated it, and then people like, wow, okay, it's amazing. So it would take time, but you just basically can spend money while it's working for you. So you make current account obsolete, because what's the point having thousands of euros on an account that's just losing money with value with inflation? Anyway, you can put all this money in a savings account, backed by the most transparent and open DeFi protocol in the world. And then you can also put it in the robo, just forget about it, and then you can spend directly from it. So, basically building this app for us, everybody in the company is so excited because we all have different wallets everywhere. We all have at least 5 or 6 different apps. And we're tired of it. I have my Metal thing with Revolut, I got the Binance, I got Coinbase, everything. I just don't want to have all this. So as soon as it's ready and I can withdraw all my crypto from other platforms and put it in my Act.io wallet, and then I can just manage everything directly from the same app. And I just can't wait, to be honest. It's really I just can't wait for it to be live. And it's going to be, the first version is going to be live in a few weeks. And by end of March, it's going to be amazing. And by the summer, we're going to add all the marketing add-ons like fast track at the airport, insurances, all that stuff. Mostly in this COVID time, to allow people to feel like a bit special. How people like to have the smartest, latest smart thing. That's why we call it ACT as well, because we want to push people, that people already have ambition, people are already working hard every day. to tell them, listen, you think wealth management is only for the big boys out there, for private banking, something that nobody can access to. Now you can have everything on one app. You have the robo-advisor, you're going to have like the news we write ourselves, everything. And, you're going to have that feeling when you walk in an airport and you have this $20 plane ticket to go to, nearby, but you go through the international terminal and you feel special because you have like this amazing restaurant, duty-free, beautiful bottles, the lounge area. And even if you hold this $20 ticket, you feel special. You feel you're smarter than people because you're surrounded by this thing. And that's the feeling we want people to have. So the cars were designed with Visa. They're amazing. I will send you a picture of this, the sample we received from the metal card we have. We have different memberships. There's one, of course, when you don't need to pay anything. One more premium, we call World, and one Elite. We get lots of people, they stake 50,000 euro of coin and they have this amazing service, their own wealth manager, a hybrid robo, mixing crypto and traditional market, like lots of amazing stuff. So it's a big adventure. And also we haven't even talked about it, but we're in the middle of our ICO.
So yeah, let's touch on that for a second. I mean, so again, you have a lot in the pipeline, a lot of amazing things coming, 3 different tiers that people can sign up for this, but you're also in the middle of an ICO. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to release our coin normally in March. It's going to be on our app and hopefully on one of the major exchanges. Should be Bitrex, but we will see. We will tell you guys really soon. The coin is made on the Hedera blockchain. Why Hedera? Because it's the fastest and greenest blockchain out there. And they announced our partnership a few weeks earlier through their foundation and social media. So that's amazing. And we raised already a bit more than 17 million euros. And the hard cap is 27 million. But we launched the public sale Monday. And on the first day, we had like 3,000 people subscribing and about 3 million in pending payment in one day. Like, in the past, it took us 1 year, 2 years ago, to raise 1.2 million. And now we barely did marketing because, to be honest with you, we're more like product oriented. We're not really marketers. We didn't come up with this big marketing idea and then, let's find the engineers to make it. We first had the engineers who wanted to make something, and then we had to find the marketers. So it's really organic. It's really amazing. Of course, we're making progress with marketing. We're gonna have great videos, great. The app looks great as well. I mean, we already have feedbacks from our beta because we have a live product for the last 4 months, and the coin is we're in the middle of the public sale. So basically, it's going to be live at the price of €1 in March, and now we used to sell it in different pre-sales for cheaper, 50 cent, 80 cent, 89 cent, and now we get to €1 in the public sale. So there's like I think 7 million left in it. Because it's only been 24 hours. I have to check the numbers, but I think it's more like 6 million something now. And voila, so lots of people can participate. We're pretty proud because I think in 1 week it's going to be we're going to be done. We have raised all the money we need to be good for the next year or two. And because we're hiring so many people. We started the project. We were 5 people. Now we're 110. We plan to be 100 by Christmas, but we're actually already more than 110. So it's pretty crazy. We have our offices in France. The customer support is in France, also in Ireland. We have the legal team is in the UK, Ireland, and France. We have marketing people in Paris and also some people in Berlin. We're opening an office there. So the company is basically, France, UK, Ireland, Germany. We're opening a new office in Dubai as well. So the growth is just, for me, I still don't realize it. When you work so hard, you just la tête dans le guidon, like we say in French. You're in your thing and you don't realize what's going on. I talk with Visa. Next day, I talk with the VC, and then you talk with the big partnerships, and then you have these big groups calling you because they want to partner with you because they know they're gonna maybe have like hundreds of thousands of users that you might bring to them. So it's really crazy what's going on. To be honest, it's amazing. Sometimes you need to take some time and just look what is happening because exactly.
Yeah, because there's a lot of awesome things that you're building, and shout out to HBAR. So we actually had Dr. Lehman on the show a while back, and I've always been impressed by them, and the fact that you're one of the few that are being able to build on top of it. says enough for me. There's nothing else I need to know at that point because
and they give us a great grant. They talk about, they give us the biggest grant they ever given to any of the projects they collaborate with. So they announced it. So now I can talk about it, because for months we couldn't talk about it. We had to wait for them, and now we're so happy. So yeah, it's amazing. So it's going to come step by step. And the website is going to look better and better. Before the 15th of December, we can have more information about the Wealth Hub and the Wealth Bot. The Wealth Hub is our exchange engine. The Wealth Bot is the robo, and the Wealth Card is our card. So we're gonna have all these information during this month, and then we're gonna publish more about the different memberships and things like that before Jan. And voila, so the app's gonna be live before Christmas, and then we're gonna keep adding stuff on it. And March, April is gonna be the big, when a snake is changing skin, and then you get to that adulthood, when you get really the stuff you've been working on for years. Just so you know, to design a card with Visa and just to find a partnership with these guys, it takes a year. Basically it takes more than a year and a half or something like that. And just so you guys know, we're not going to stop at just doing an app, a wealth app, which is the main product now, but we're asking for the banking license in France. So we're going to be a real bank by 2023, like Société Générale, BNP. And because we want to disrupt the banking system from the core. That's what we want to do. Basically, we're not just here to have a great app, sell it to Coinbase in a year for 1 billion and disappear. We don't want to do that. We're not going to sell, first of all, and then we're just gonna keep working for the next few years. And we have great ambitions. And with Hedera, the amazing thing with Hedera, they can help us. I don't know if you heard about WeChat in China, how people pay. It's Tencent who does that. I lived there for a few years, so we were paying with QR codes already more than 10 years ago. And you go back to France and people still using coins on the table. Oh, are you 12 euro? And you put money on the table. But in China, it's just all the phones are linked to the waitress WeChat, and you click and you pay. That's it. What we want to do using our exchange engine, work with all the different businesses. For example, you have a shoe shop or whatever restaurant, and when people come to pay, you just show a big QR code, and using our exchange, you're going to receive euros, but the users can come and use our technology to pay with whatever they want, okay? Because it would do all the routing for them. So because, everybody's waiting for new utilities, for Dogecoin, for whatever, so the value can go up. But you can take a shortcut and use that way, that multi-route exchange. Even if the coin doesn't have any utility, you make it. You just make it yourself. You just, okay, cool. It's going to be an exchange, of course, but it happens automatically in like less than 2 seconds. You can use it to pay. So it's amazing. You don't have to wait for each coin to invent their own utility and be accepted in businesses and stuff. You can directly, super easily just pay anybody with whatever you own. So that was a big challenge. You really make money, what you want it to be. I don't trust fiat. Many people don't trust it anymore. With COVID, they print 700 billion like this. You work hard every day. They ask you for super high interest rate. I mean, not anymore, but to buy mortgage, to have your mortgage and stuff. But they just keep printing money and printing and printing, and people are like, where is it going? So let me transform my money into gold, Bitcoin. You mix it the way you want. You buy whatever you want. We're even going to tokenize real estate. Some small project at the beginning with a yield. So you can invest in everything. Imagine you can buy a piece of a building in Manhattan in the future. That would be amazing. You buy 10 euro of the Empire State Building or whatever. That would be sick. Everybody would like to jump on that. So there's a lot to do. This is just the beginning.
You're just setting the foundation, man, and it's a strong foundation to have. Again, I'm excited that all of this is launching really soon. Everyone listening, of course, you can get into the RCO. You can be one of their first users, and especially as it expands, man. Like I'm excited. I can't wait for hopefully the day that U.S. citizens can get involved, because I know a ton of people that would jump all over this the second that happens. But I know a lot of people internationally who listen to our show are probably going to be very eager to be joining this platform as well. But man, you've dropped a lot of great knowledge on us. I think you have an amazing roadmap. But as we kind of wrap up here, man, there's two fun questions I always like to wrap up with. The first being, with all of the information that you've learned right now with all the information you've been able to take over the years, if you go back to yourself and impart 1 to 2 pieces of wisdom when you first got started building this out, what would you tell yourself?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things we realize now, of course, that we would have done differently. First of all, basically, if I have two things to say, find a great CTO. And really great CTO, great head of compliance straight from the beginning, and also think a lot about the UX. And what I mean is that just really think how you're gonna have a lot of empathy on how people are gonna be seeing your app. You know, if when I download crypto.com, or yeah, you realize it's so hard. People download it because they know they have to buy something, but they don't like it. You know, so the thing is really straight from the beginning. Finish all the design of the whole thing before you start developing, and develop with the best feature you can find. You just don't need like a whole team of 30 people. Just get the right person, and just go do the right steps. Okay, so be really strong legally, really strong about licenses and stuff. Have a great UX, the greatest UX you can ever get. Like hire UX researchers, hire like guys who did PhDs in cognitive science. Like we did that. You just won't do it just with designers. UI it's not going to be enough. You need like guys who think and have the empathy in science. Like they show you this is how they're going to react to what you do. And if you go to the right steps and you work 12, 15 hours a day for the next 3 years, yes, you might be able to, but to be honest with you, even today, I talked to he's my best friend. The CEO is the guy I grew up with. And we told each other, honestly, it's impossible. It's really mission impossible to make something like that. To be honest with you, I don't even know how we got to where we are now, because there were so many moments where we were really like, okay, there's no way we're going to make it. It's really looks impossible, but you have to keep grinding and learn. And that's the good thing about startups, because you fail quickly and you learn quickly and you move on. And if you ask somebody like, how did you succeed that so well, then they're going to tell you, okay, because I failed so many times. I know it sounds cliche, but you need to fail. But you have to learn from your mistakes. If you keep repeating the same mistakes, you can fail for 50 years, nothing's going to happen. Yeah.
That is a great thought. So a couple things, again, to repack that to everyone that just listened. Make sure you get a really good CTO. Spend the time doing it. User experience, the UX and the UI, user interface. Hire top-notch people who truly are going to help you have the understanding of the legal team and compliance. So you have, those 3 core things right there. You have a chance to make it, because it's going to be a lot of hurdles in the way, but you can persevere, you learn fast, and you just keep grinding ahead, and you come out on the other side with a whole lot of possibility. And that's what excites me about Act right now, is that there's so much in front of you, especially because you've solved one of the absolute hardest challenges for mass adoption. When I talk about mass adoption forever and a day, it's almost like you've taken all of those hardest elements and said, here's how we fix all of them and put them into one location. And like, that's where I'm the most excited about this. And I've been on a conversation a long time, because y'all have gone and attacked head on the biggest hurdles for newbies coming into this space. And I found other ways to like keep modernizing and making this even simpler. So I know I'm personally going to be continuing to watch this journey. And again, I'm excited to see how this thing launches and what it turns into, man, because again, this is something special. But as we wrap up here, what is a final thought that you want to leave with all the listeners here today?
Well, the final thought is that, it's actually better when you don't come from an industry if you want to disrupt it, because people who grow up in finance, they're never going to be able to disrupt it. It's like, in the US and the educational system, it's like you want to change it, because you're stuck with your student loan. You have to go find a corporate job to pay for your loan. So you're never going to be able to disrupt society, because from day one you've been grabbed by the system. Okay, so I tell to everybody, like, if you want to get into that industry and you're doing something completely different, I sold flowers for many years. then jump into it, learn a lot, and you will always be you're gonna be recognized, and people are gonna be much more curious to talk with you than to someone who knows crypto per heart and is a super geek in crypto. Like I talk to VCs and a lot of people, and I talk with the heart. I don't care what they're gonna think about me because I exactly know what I'm doing, and they love it because they're tired of what the market is, and they're tired of the too over technical language and stuff. They just voilà, if you want to disrupt something, you need to, I think, don't be afraid to come from outside of the industry, jump into it, catch the train and work hard, study a lot, and you'll be able to do something if you get the good opportunities and you jump into each opportunity and you can find things. Yeah, definitely.
That is a great final thought. Everyone go back and listen to that one more time. If you want to disrupt something, don't be afraid to step out of an industry and you can get out of the hamster wheel. You can start something different. You can find something you're passionate about and just go for it. So, man, Julian, you've given us just so many nuggets today, man. So much to be looking out for and to be excited about. What are ways that people can learn more about ACT and connect with you?
Well, I mean, they can check the website, of course, which is going to look even better in the next few weeks. We're pretty active on social media as well, so they can check us out on Twitter, on LinkedIn. We have a Discord, with Telegram as well. Everything is on the website, and we answer pretty quickly. We have a landline. You can call us. The number is in the footer of our website. We don't hide how you can reach us. You just call us directly. People are in France, but I speak English, of course. Just contact us anytime you want. If you're in the southeast of France, we have our offices there, and we're pretty available. Some of our investors that were lost, they need some information. Some of them knock on the door. They just basically come to the office and they're like, are you Julian? Are you Elsa? And they recognize us, and we sit with them for half an hour, help them out. So this doesn't happen with most fintech projects because the guys are always far away, and we local. We are there, we're regulated, and if anything happens, we go to jail. You know what I mean? Like, this is our project. So people can join us anytime they want, and check the ICO website. And you can go on the website right now and check the progress. The progress bar is going down pretty quickly. So you can go on the ICO Launchpad. The minimum buy is $1,000 basically. And you have the white paper you can download and have all the information you want. If you need some more, just write to us, and we have a live chat, everything. So yeah, don't be afraid to ask questions, and we get back to you really quickly. Even if we have like thousands of people now every day, we used to have like 300 to 600 people, and now it's like 3,000 a day. So it's pretty crazy. But we work weekends and we work every day, so we don't stop during weekends to answer people. Voilà.
Well, excellent. Well, everyone, make sure you go check this out. I know I'm going to go check it out myself. Again, Julian, thank you so much for joining us. And for everyone listening, stay cryptocurrent.